Hi all of you awesome scuba divers out there, welcome to Scuba Diver Magazine, the very best place for the latest scuba diving news and advice. If you're watching this video, then chances are that you want to record some of your underwater adventures, and most modern phones have outstanding cameras already built into them, and you can edit the photos and the videos on your phone and then upload them from that same device to share what you see underwater with your friends. So it makes sense to bring your phone under the water, but your phone usually is just splash proof. But I wouldn't trust to take my phone snorkeling, let alone scuba diving. So you need yourself an underwater housing, and ProShot make this universal iPhone dive case. This video is sponsored by SCUBA.com, who stock a range of ProShot equipment. I'll put a link to their website up here in the corner, but the dive case itself is waterproof down to 40 meters or 130 feet, so that's a decent depth rating. It comes with a 12-month iPhone protection guarantee, which is quite nice. If your case breaks in any way during the first 12 months, ProShot will send you a free replacement case. If your iPhone is damaged due to a defective ProShot case, ProShot will replace and reimburse you for a new iPhone, which is quite generous of them. Obviously, that's dependent on the actual case itself being the cause of the leak. So if you open it underwater, I don't think you're covered. The case fits all of these iPhone models. I'm not going to read them all out because there's quite a few. It's basically the iPhone 6 up to the 14, I believe, and maybe even some future models after this video is produced, as long as Apple don't fiddle around with the design of the 15 or whatever it is next too much. And the housing features this large front window because of the range of camera locations on different iPhone models. So you get a nice big window. On the other side, you have an open section so you can see all of the screen. The case itself can fit fixed colored filters in front of those lenses to counteract the blue or green watercolor if you're not diving with a video light. The case itself consists of two separate parts. The internal section has a spring-loaded frame and various foam sections to hold your phone securely in place. That section slides into the main solid section of the case with an O-ring seal at the very top and two locking clasps to seal the case. On the outside of the case, you have two knuckle GoPro style mounts, which gives you plenty of mounting options for the housings, for just different types of accessories. It comes with that floating handle, but if you have any other GoPro style mounts, then you can mount it to that. Foam sections around the case help to ensure that the case itself floats. Should you ever drop it or lose it, at least it ends up on the surface. On the top side, you have two mechanical buttons to reach inside of the case and interact with two buttons that are in the internal frame that should line up with the buttons on your iPhone so that you can now take photos underwater. You won't be able to use the touchscreen of your phone inside of the case. You're limited to those two buttons. If you need to use that touchscreen, they do make a touchscreen model, but it's not waterproof down to 40 meters. But ProShot have an app that you can download onto your phone that makes it so that the negative button cycles through photo and video modes, and the positive button acts as your shutter underwater to take pictures. Fire up the app, pop your phone into the case, then go on the dive. Otherwise, it'll be tricky to type in your passcode and select the camera function whilst it's in the case. The app also has a sleep mode as well, so you can turn the screen off whilst you're diving and you're not wasting battery when you're not actually recording. The case itself weighs just 300 grams, just this section here. This also measures 195 by 36 by 132 millimeters, and it comes with a range of accessories, so let's see how it arrives. So this is how it arrives in its own little EVA case, which is quite snazzy. Just a matte navy blue finish with ProShot logo on the top. Zippered opening and closure. on the inside, so you get the case itself, and that's held in place by two elasticated like webbing straps, so it keeps it from rolling around and rocking around inside of the EVA case. On the or in the top, you have the floating handle. You also have, in my case, it's got 3 of these like different colored filters, so for depending on how blue your water is, you can fit that into the case, and it just adjusts and puts a bit of that red back into your videos. And you also get a couple of these are just little foam inserts, so for some of the smaller iPhones, it's just to prevent it from rattling around on the inside. These are self-adhesive, so you just stick them where you need to, and it just helps to add a little bit of buffer to some of the smaller smaller phones. You got a long, thin one there, and you also get a short, chunky one. So yeah, they're basically just there to pad out certain sections. So yeah, let's take a closer look at the case, the handle, and the filters. So the phone case itself is quite a simple design and exactly what you'd expect from an underwater phone case. So on the like diver facing side, the side that you will see, just big open screen, and this is clear acrylic, nice and strong, and yeah, waterproof down to 40 meters. 2 buttons on the top, the negative button, so that's going to be cycling through the different photo and video modes, from slow-mo to all sorts of different things. And then to actually take the picture or start the recording, you press the positive button, and when your phone is connected to the app, it puts into a special actual photo video mode, so that's how you can completely control your phone. To open it up, you have 2 locking mechanisms, so you have to pull one section down and lift to release that, and you have to do that on both sides, so it's not something that you can do accidentally. And then you just pull this section out. That's the main body of the case, but this is what's holding onto your phone itself. You have this spring-loaded section, so you slot your phone into there. If you need to, you've got that extra foam padding for different phone sizes, and this is where you can mount those filters. They just click into place nice and securely, and that just sits in front of the lenses of your camera, so it just helps to bring some of the reds back into your videos, where normally the red light disappears quite quickly underwater. Just in here, this is where that O-ring seal is, so it's a little tricky to reach, but it is reachable. Not with your fingers or anything. You're going to need a tool to actually get into there, but yeah, just keep it clean. Make sure there's no sort of grit or hair or anything that can break that seal, and that's what's keeping it waterproof underwater. The handle itself, very familiar GoPro style mount on the top of this, so if you have any other GoPro style mounts, you'll also be able to mount your camera onto this. But the handle itself, it's got a soft foam like outer layer sleeve, and that's got a decent grip to it. The whole thing is hollow, and you can actually unscrew the lower section. It does have an O-ring seal on that. I don't know how waterproof that is. I wouldn't like to test that with anything too valuable. I think it's more just to keep a bit of air so that the whole thing floats, and it also allows you to adjust its buoyancy, so you don't want it too buoyant so it's continually floating, so you can just put a little bit of water in at the beginning of the dive if you wanted to, and just adjust its buoyancy. Big attachment point at the bottom. It does come with this wrist lanyard, which is fully adjustable as well, so you can tighten it onto your wrist. But if you wanted to fit a different style lanyard, you have plenty of space. A lot of accessories nowadays, they have really small little eyelets, which really limit what you can actually fit onto it as a security device. So it's quite nice to see a really big loop on that. Otherwise, that's about it. It's a simple phone case, very easy to use. Pop your phone in, download the app first, obviously, and switch that on. Pop your phone in. Pop the filter in first if you're using that, slot it into the case, clamp it down once and twice, and you're ready to go. It's really as simple as that. Overall finish is nice. It's got perfectly fine finish. Nothing too overly exciting on a phone case. The foam on the outside, you can see where it's already gotten a little bit damaged because we have used this whilst we were testing it. But hey, other than that, yes, good looking phone case. 40 meters is a hell of a depth rating for an underwater housing. I don't like diving with anything less than that if I'm taking my personal electronics underwater. The foam on the outside quite quickly suffers from wear, so don't get too overly attached to a perfect finish on that foam. It's nice that it's there to help make the whole thing more buoyant, but foam is quite soft and delicate, and when you're if you've got it clipped off to something and it rubs, you are going to damage that foam, unfortunately. And the seal is a little tricky to reach once you sort of opened it up and you're trying to clean it. Compared to some other housings, it's a bit harder to actually reach, but if you've got a soft bristle brush you can get in there, but to actually grease it is a little bit trickier. But otherwise, it's a good underwater housing. I do like their confidence with a 12-month warranty that not only covers their case but your phone also. The case and accessories cost $160. The red filter pack, those 3 filters, they cost about $30 extra, which is a fair price for a decent underwater housing, as well as a floating handle. You get the case, you get the handle, and you get all of that included in that price. And for more information, you can visit scuba.com to check out the ProShot universal dive case and a whole range of dive gear. Also, they've got more than phone cases on their website. But what do you think about the ProShot case? Let us know down in the comments under this video, and remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you found it useful. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.